Half of our chairmanship has arrived on this Giving Tuesday at JM and AM. It's with great pleasure that I introduce somebody. It's hard to actually pin him down. It's hard to actually determine what side of the world he's on. And this has gotten only, I don't want to say worse, God forbid, because it means extra travel to Israel, but it's only gotten more complicated as the years go by. I don't know how his own personal assistant keeps track of where he is. The one and only Steve Adelsberg is in our studio. Good morning, Steve, and welcome to JM and the AM.
Welcome, Nachum. It's great to be here once again. We are in Jersey, right?
We're in Jersey, and Chayei Sarah, it was Chayei Sarah you were in Israel.
Yes.
But not in Hebron. You were way up north.
In Kiryat Shmona.
Near my new home in Katzrin. It's funny. I kept doing the Katzrin joke because a friend of mine who lives there said if I do end up moving to Katzrin, I'll have plenty of space and nobody will ever visit me. Then last night at the Zamek wedding, I come across somebody who has a son living in Ma'alot.
Really?
Oh, Ma'alot. Talk about space and nobody visiting. That's where I should be going.
I have to tell you, people say it. We would go to Kiryat Shmona. Before that, it was Kfar Maimon 3 weeks ago.
Was that in the Shomron?
Yeah, Kfar Maimon was in the south.
Where?
Next to Gaza.
Wow. So what am I thinking of? There's something Maimon in the Shomron. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
And
so Kfar Maimon near Gaza.
And they all say, nobody visits us.
Right? Nobody ever comes here. What are you doing here?
You guys get lost? But they ask me, you know, I tell people this. They say, you come to security and they go, Lama bata la'aretz, why are you coming? And I say 3 words. Ki ani yachol, right. Because we can, and our grandparents couldn't.
Yeah, that's for sure. Also, now that area is among the safest in Israel. Far by boat. It wasn't like that a couple of years ago, but now it's one of the safest areas of Israel.
Yeah.
Got a lot of military presence in the area. Thank God. Thank God. God bless the IDF.
Right.
You didn't run into my soldier in Israel, did you?
I didn't. I was looking for him.
You were looking for him.
I was looking for the net uniform, the net logo.
The net logo. It's on his helmet. I told Steve, just look for a guy who looks like me, but many, many years younger. Many years younger than I am.
And he could go left.
You think so? Is he in fact a good athlete? Is he still able to do all that? We'll find out next time we speak to him. Now it's all about the Army. Now the only things I could talk to him about are Army and Torah. Those are the 2 things. There's nothing else on his mind. It's Army duties and Torah. Those are the 2 things on his mind. Can't get him to focus on anything else. I'll mention to him something that happened during the Jet game. Irrelevant. This is a kid who knew every player, every offensive tackle on every team in the NFL. But no longer, Steve. He's unlike you and me. He's moved on. How does that happen, I wonder?
I don't know. We talk about moving on. As you know, I have a 5 p.m. pandemic call every day.
Right. And pandemic meaning it started during the pandemic.
Pandemic during the pandemic, exactly.
And it's going on till now.
Till now.
Will it happen on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day as well? Or
we take that off. That's the
only day.
That's the only day we take.
Wednesday, tomorrow, it will happen.
It will happen tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And what happens is very simple. People say, what do you talk about? And the wives say, you know, they talk about the same thing. You understand, we were in the classes of 1970, 69, 70, and 71 of MTA. And we talk about the same thing every day, but we laugh as if it's the first time.
Right.
And that's the beauty of everyone who had those memories of the years past.
Yes. So in some way you did move on, and in some ways you did not move on.
Yeah, I would say that. We all have a certain time.
You're schlepping along the past with you. I'm like that as well, by the way.
But it was something we all loved, different things.
Well, you're nostalgic. There are people who like to reminisce, and there are people who don't like to reminisce.
Right.
I'm a reminiscer. Simple as that.
I have this memory. I'll remember what I had for lunch 40 years ago, but I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
That's a separate problem.
Oh, that's true.
But I've been in your home. You have mementos. You have things that, remind you of other times that, you look back with fondness.
Yeah.
You showed me an amazing photo you had of the Biana Rebbe.
Right. Well, ours is pretty good, Nachum. We've been here for 2 minutes. We didn't bring up the piano rubber yet.
Well,
now it's,
I'm your Biana correspondent.
no question about it.
There is only one person that I know of that sends you photos from Slichas night in Beyond on the Lower East Side. There's only one person I know that does that. And that is when I pass by. It was funny. I think I told you this year. I'm driving by. It's about 1:45. I'm on my way back from Staten Island, and I come off the Manhattan Bridge in order to literally pass by the Beyond Stiebel. And there's a police presence. And they see me driving by slowly.
Oh, God.
with my video camera. And they're starting to look at me like, this guy it seems like suspicious behavior. So a couple of Hasidim are standing with the cops. So I yell out, "This is for Steve Adelsberg." And the Hasidim are like, "Oh, let's go on." And the cops all of a sudden are breathing a sigh of relief, So your name, look what your name did.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Your name gains entree into the most amazing of places.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
And by the way, this is the time of year where we are expecting you for a Shabbos in the Lower East Side again. It was during the winter that you did that a couple of years back, and everyone's asking, where are you?
I have to say, Stacy, your wife, lovely woman, and she said to me, we have 200 shuls for 200 people. One of the great nights.
Yeah, it's a little inaccurate.
This is true, but I have
the real quote is 10 shuls with 9 people each.
Nachum, I say one thing. If you want to learn about an area, and I do it because I go to Israel. You want to learn about an area, you have to stay there for Shabbos. You go to Shabbos. Now, when I came to the Lower East Side, the first time I ever came for Shabbos, we all go to Lower East Side, and you realize it all started there.
Right.
This was the gate. This was the entree.
And you also realize what kind of celebrity you are. People stopping you right and left.
Oh, yeah.
Up and down the boulevard.
Yeah, they all want net tickets.
People insisting on walking you home from shul. My gosh. Pretty amazing. You've lost some regulars, by the way, at the Beyond, but I assume, in all seriousness, that the Williamsburg crowd makes sure the minion continues, right?
They still do.
Do you get reports? Like, do they tell you that it's...
Yes, they come to see me, so we have to make a
And
minion.
does the Rebbe in Israel know about it?
100%.
So he gets regular reports about it.
His son, the Rebbe's son, just became the Rav of Borough Park and beyond. Much
What street is that on?
It's on 4405 14th Avenue. And when he has something...
Moved from Israel, or he was here?
He moved from Israel. He moved from Israel. Wow. It was very difficult for the Rebbe to ask his son to leave, but it was something that had to be done.
And he's there now? Like he has a stellar now?
He is there now. And the thing about it, when he has something that's important, a certain davening, a certain bakasha, he'll go down to the Stiebel on 247 East Broadway.
Really?
Yes, he'll
daven there?
He'll daven there, exactly, where his great-grandfather was.
Right. He knows he's 10 feet away from my seat in the Mizrahi?
Oh, he knows 100%. He knows 100%.
One of the greatest encounters, and I have told this story before, but why not tell it again? Especially, I don't know where your co-chair Ralph is. I mean, is he studying the Yankee schedule for 2026? Like, where is he?
Jersey. I came from Brooklyn. You know what it is? I think I left 3 weeks ago to get here.
You know that I was at the Manhattan Beach Jewish Center. Oh, I think that's him. I was at the Manhattan Beach Jewish Center last Sunday night.
Right.
And I do not do valet parking.
Right.
For a variety of reasons.
Okay.
I don't do valet parking. But, as you know, it's impossible to park anywhere there. Although I was silly. I should have asked for your driveway, but whatever. Anyway, I'm walking back to my car as I'm getting ready to leave on the water over there. I didn't realize that that's the street you live. I'm not going to say the name. That's the street you're on.
Yeah.
I literally passed your block.
Yeah.
Once we were at the water, how far in are you? Like, could I really have parked in your driveway, or it's way too far?
No, you could have parked in the driveway.
It's that close to the water?
It's that close. I get requests on that. And
you get requests.
and Sandy was a real. Sandy's name. Listen, when I grew
Sandy
up,
hit your home?
Oh, it more than hit the home. It was basically...
Were you displaced?
Yeah, well, let's put it this way.
Or just the basement was wiped out?
Oh, we didn't really have first floor damage, but I was in Eretz Row for a change when that happened. And I'm coming down my friend's house in Renana, and I'm looking at the TV. And if you remember from Sandy, Breezy Point was on fire. Right. So on CNN, I'm seeing Breezy Point on fire, and I turned to my friend David Aber at the time, and I said, "Hey, this can't be a good thing."
Say the least.
And was, as I say, when the only other Sandy in our life was Sandy Koufax. For the week, he took a back seat. And even
also from Brooklyn.
Yes, Bensonhurst. Reminds
Right.
it. So it's like, I remember what the governor said, Cuomo at the time said, is this the storm of the century that's going to happen every 2 years? And but
thank God it hasn't happened.
It hasn't.
Again.
But you don't build basements.
So how long did it take for you to fix everything up?
It took a while. It took,
half a year.
Oh yeah, at least. Yeah, it was like you my basement was floating. It wasn't. We had two types. You had a swimming pool, which is water,
Right. Up to a certain level,
or you had a fishbowl.
Right.
And it was if you had first floor damage, you were in problem.
All right, now we're gonna have to get serious because Chairman Ralph has arrived and he's already thinking in his head, why are the two of them not fundraising? Why are the two of them not expressing a sense of urgency on this Giving Tuesday to get people to give? That's what he's wondering.
Bogus hopes to both of you. Bogus hopes to the listeners.
We were conjecturing that you were studying the 2026 Yankee schedule. That's why you weren't. That's why you weren't in yet.
I get upset by that. We try not to talk about it, but I did not mind listening to the reminisce about the ages, the years gone by. I mean, as we get older, this is what we do.
Yeah, you know what Ralph likes to reminisce about? The Catskills. He's always into reminiscing about the Catskills.
Love that.
The Pioneer Hotel and all the other places where he was a waiter for a busboy.
The Pioneer Hotel.
Uh-oh, here we go.
It was back in 1968. We go to the Pioneer Hotel, and they're advertising swimming pool, indoor swimming pool.
Okay.
And my brother, who's at the time he's all of 11, and he's excited. He's going down to the swimming pool, comes running to the lobby and goes, "Daddy, Daddy, the men are swimming naked." He was the mikvah. They advertised the mikvah was the indoor pool.
Oh my gosh!
What were the men being there? They came in for their own thing. Okay, no problem.
Boy, what an education we get here! It's amazing.
It's true.
But we can talk about that. We'll just leave it on the side about where I was a waiter at Bellhop. But I want to say I was listening as I was driving in, and let me tell you, a kol kavod to Rabbi Goldwasser.
That was a good one.
That was unbelievable what he was talking.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you did not hear Rabbi Goldwasser say, go back to the archives. You will definitely.
I was thinking of playing it again this morning, frankly.
I think you should be playing it.
Maybe toward the end of this hour, we'll play it again because he really honed in on why people need to support us and keep us going. And I hope that everybody does take his advice. Go to fjbunity.org, fjbunity.org. We've officially kicked off our year-end campaign. It's our first Giving Tuesday. Once I declared that today's our Giving Tuesday, and then we discovered that next week is America's Giving Tuesday, I said, you know what? We may just do both. So today's our first Giving Tuesday of this year-end season. I hope that everybody out there will respond by supporting us. And again, whatever you can give, please give. But the important thing is that everybody who's listening, and even those who don't listen, because all of us sitting in this room right now in this studio know plenty of people who understand that what we do here every day is important. So again, whether you are an actual listener of the show, or if you know people who aren't listeners but understand the message and understand the importance of what we do, then please go ahead and head to fjbunity.org and suggest to them to do the same thing. Put it on your social media. Put the links out there. Forward our email that'll be coming out this afternoon about giving. Forward it to them. Forward it to your email list. Do whatever you can to help us attain our goal here at JM and the AM. And I wanted, with the two of you, I saved this for both of you for when you came in. Both Steve Adelsberg and Ralph Rosenbaum, who proudly share the chairmanship of the Foundation for Jewish Broadcasting, and I thank them both for that. They are with us in our studio. We have a list of just the last couple of months of people that we have spoken with on this radio show. And I contend that not only is it an impressive list in and of itself, but it's a list of people that you would get nowhere else. Just like there is no other radio show that I know of, even Jewish shows that I know of, that focus on the fact that the future of the Jewish people is in the state of Israel. Nobody's doing that, and we, of course, are doing that. So, too, there was a list of amazing guests, some of which, again, you could argue would be on other media outlets, but I believe the majority of them would only be here. And on top of that, certainly the conversations we have with them would only take place here, because there are people who would be in secular media or general media and they would discuss a variety of things going on in this world. But when it comes to the importance of specific items to the Jewish community, that's where we come in. That's where we're able to, just like, you know what it reminds me of? Someone once said to me, you know, like, who's your favorite interview? And one of my answers always is, when Robert Kraft was on this show, he is the owner, by the way, of the New England Patriots, who sadly, according to Steve Adelsberg, are doing way too well this season. Agreed? They're doing way too well this season.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. I know it's hard to root against him. It is very hard to root against him.
I'm on the line with Rabbi Heshi Billet.
Where's this?
Going to Israel.
Yeah.
And I noticed his wife, Alaa Shalom, who was a real tzaddikus, was going on a mission to Israel, and she's right in front of me.
Forgot her name.
And I say, Mrs. Kraft, how are you? Oh, how are you? And we start going, ha, 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 he. We're talking. Rabbi Billet, being the wise guy that he is, sends to Mrs. Kraft and go, do you know Mrs. Kraft? He's a Jet fan.
He says about you.
That's right. Mrs. Kraft looks at him and turns around and stops talking to me. And I say, Mrs. Kraft, I respect that. But she was
such a gamer.
She was
such a homer.
When she passed, the Patriots wore a patch for her.
I remember that.
And she took care of the players. I remember we saw her in one of the hotels because she was on a mission, and we were talking to Natalie Sharansky, and she was on a first-name basis with him, in a way very friendly with him, in a way that it wasn't just because she just happened to show up. She was a real lover of Israel.
Myra Kraft. Couldn't think of her first name. Myra Kraft. Anyway, so one of my favorite, why was Robert? I mean, Robert Kraft is on every, he's everywhere.
Right.
ESPN, CNN, everybody's speaking to Robert Kraft. Because on this show, he said that when he was honored by Yeshiva University, he said his father would be more touched by the fact that he's being honored by Yeshiva University than any of his Super Bowl championships. And I said that statement would never be made anywhere else, only here on JM and the AM.
And if you remember his speech when he said the day he bought the Patriots,
right,
and he spent more than he could afford,
right,
he didn't know how he was going to pay it. And I think the number I could tell you, if my memory serves correct, was he paid $170 million, and his number he wanted to go up to was $120 million.
Right.
And what did they do the next day? They walked to shul together to give Kadosh Baruch Hu thanks.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And he says that in his speech in YU.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. There you have it. So I'm giving an example of, where this show is an outlet for unique things that wouldn't happen anywhere else. And by the way, folks, the two gentlemen who sit in front of me are not only our chairman, they are both accountants. So if Steve says a number, he's likely very accurate. He's a numbers guy. And Ralph is a numbers guy. And Ralph has a reminder for anybody over the age of 71. What's the reminder for those over the age of 71? And Mr. Adelsberg, you'll confirm this, please.
Confirm it, that's correct, because sometimes. Required minimum distributions.
Right.
A required minimum distribution is something that you have to take with your IRAs. However, at 70.5, if you want to give
70.5?
70.5. 70.5. I'm looking at Mr. Adelberg to say he concurs, but at 70.5, if you want to take money out of your IRA and give it to charity, you can. And what it means is by giving, yes, you give Nachum, great thrill by giving, but you do not have to pay tax on it. That is really the name of the game.
What's the most that someone can give?
That I don't.
100,000.
100,000?
Yeah.
All right. Let's find that guy now.
Okay.
The 100,000?
Let's put out the call.
We have.
Ralph has a lot of clients. Ralph has a lot of clients who must do this minimum distribution. Required minimum distribution.
That is correct.
If you're a Ralph pal, and you've been distributing that $100,000 through a variety of other charities, he will tell you that this is the one that deserves the full $100,000. Am I right, Mr. Rosenbaum?
That is correct. Let him give me a call. We can definitely put it in. Because I speak to some clients and I say, I don't care who. You got a 501c. Let's go. Give it.
Of
If you're not,
course.
I have a place for it. No. I need the money myself. I said, okay.
You know what, Ralph?
So-
you know
so-
what Ralph said to me the other day, and sadly, I think you can confirm this. He said most people don't give.
Yeah, that's
He
unfortunate.
said the majority of people. We think a lot of people give because we're in a community of givers, so we think most people are like that. He says the majority of his clients would never think of giving anything anywhere.
It's amazing. We see it. The Jewish community, the Orthodox Jewish community, knows their responsibility,
To others.
and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And one of the things last week was the Shlichim conference.
Right.
And
Heard you had a good seat.
I got a good courtside.
Were you part of the first dance? Were you part of the Hachnas Sefer Torah dance?
Yeah, well, my Machutin is very much involved.
Really?
In a beautiful way. In a great way. He's a Yotze.
I'm looking at the video. I said, I know he's got to be in this circle. And sure enough, of course, he was.
And listen, he's a Yachid B'daro, Mr. Rohr.
That's
George
true,
Rohr.
by the way.
But I said to him, what is the common denominator that JM the AM does along with the Shlichim? In the Shlichim conference, you see it connects to Jewish world. If you want to know, I said to my Mahun, you want to know what's going on. He has business in Russia and Ukraine. You want to know who you're going to call. You're not calling CNN because you're not going to find any what's going on. You call the Shliach in Russia. You want to know what's going on in the Jewish world. Who connects to the Jewish world? It's JM and the AM. We want to know what's going on with our brothers everywhere.
You know, it's funny. I pulled up this list and I haven't even gotten to it yet, but you just reminded me one of my favorite guests of the last few weeks, Rabbi Raskin. This disaster of Hurricane Melissa.
Right.
That totally destroyed the Chabad house.
Right.
We track him down because it's so easy to track down anybody in Chabad these days. you call any shliach, they'll find him for you. They all have his cell phone number. And he's telling me that, first of all, he told us that there's, I hope I have this right, 19 Chabad houses in the Caribbean. 19 Chabad houses in the Caribbean? He was number 10 back in 2014. You know our friend Larry Spivak.
Sure.
He was there the day it opened in 2014.
Really?
In what is it, the Bahamas? Jamaica. Anyway, so look, would CNN or Fox News put Rabbi Raskin on to get the update about the hurricane? Maybe. But would they promote the fact that there's an emergency fund that's been set up in order to help the community and they need $500,000 ASAP? I doubt it, but we did it, I proudly say.
Well, we have to say the general media always says, why let the facts ruin a good story? I hate to say it, but that's the truth.
Is there a cliche you didn't bring along this morning?
Hey, you got me up.
You're chock full of all of them, I see.
But this is what Nachum, I'm going to say, this is what Nachum does. Because what is it? Every Elul we have, help me out with
Chesed campaign.
the Chesed campaign.
In fact, Steve and I have a mutual friend who likes to remain anonymous, who feels our biannual, because it's twice a year, Nissan and Elul, Chesed campaign is the most important thing we do here. And we do a lot of important things. So, hey, it is an important thing, and you're right for pointing that out.
That's it, because that's another reason that we have. That's the other reason we're asking for donations to Nachum Segal's Foundation of Jewish Broadcasting, because he doesn't just promote the Nachum Segal Network. He promotes items in the Chesed campaign.
My board would say I never promoted Nachum
That's right.
Segal
There are
Network.
people who say that, but
Ralph's getting to that point where every time he hears another stucco,
another one.
he's like, "What's going on here? You got to fundraise for FJB. Do you have RMD people? Do you have required minimum distribution people in your firm?
Yeah. Yes.
1 out of 100 would take your advice to give to FJB. Is that the percentage? Like, what if you sat down with 100 clients and said, you know what, I have a great cause for you to do your RMD? Would more than one actually do it?
It would be difficult because it would be difficult. I'll be honest with you. For one reason,
we're nowhere near the top, Ralph.
But for one reason, because what does JMNAM do? We use our platform so others can create a platform, and we're not the focus. When you bring another
we're
group
featuring
in,
other platforms, right?
Exactly,
right.
But that's what we do here.
Right.
You communicate the need to the Jewish people. How are we going to find out about it? What's our contact? As I said before about the Chabad, that's what they do, and that's what we do here. We bring us all close. We make it a smaller world. And by making it a smaller world, we're able to do HaKadosh Baruch Hu's work. That the world didn't start with me and doesn't end with me.
You know, one of my great, and this happened at the wedding last night, and I'm happy that it happens. People come over to me all the time. Can we get on the show and promote this? Can we get on the show? And I almost always, unless I think it's a crazy, just it doesn't belong on the show, I always say yes. I always say it's my honor to do so. And I think that's the Chabad attitude also.
Right.
Our honor to do this, and we just hope, we really hope, and look, you guys are at the top of the heap, but we always hope that people come through and keep us going because this is what we do. We're open to everybody. We want everybody who has a good cause, who has an important cause to promote. We want them here. We want to tell everybody about it. And I'm looking at this list. Captain Erez Mazoud was in our studio last week, who, by the way, has reminded me. He actually hasn't reminded me. Others have reminded me that his name is actually Mazuz, but I keep calling him Erez Mazoud. Anyway. I met him in Israel. He spent over 400 days in Gaza. He's got a wife and kids in Kiryat Arba. The guy's attitude is unbelievable. He sat in that chair last week for the second time. He was here in August for his first visit. And you know what he's doing, Steve? And the next time any of us are together in Israel, we must put this on the agenda. He is at the center of expanding the Jewish presence in Beit Lechem. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. We, of course, promoted his link. People donated, et cetera, et cetera. You could imagine the effort there. You've been to Kever Rachel. You see what's going on over there. Literally feet away from Kever Rachel is where this is happening.
Right.
And as you know from Ateret Kohanim and Chevron and a million other causes you've been involved with, there's a waiting list of people who want to move there. You'd think who would want to move there, surrounded by Arab communities and not really built up. And, of course, everybody wants to move there, especially the young people. So this is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. When he has his free time in between 400 days in Gaza, being a commander in the army, taking care of his wife and kids. I think his first child is about to be bar mitzvahed. This is what he's doing. He's building both the yeshiva and the community in Beit Lechem. So would you have heard this on CNN? Would you have seen Erez Mazoud, the commander on Fox News? Not even the Heilige Fox News would have featured him. And Fox News, you know how amazing they are, right?
But the way you present them, you present people who say, hey, don't give me a dinner. Don't give me a plaque. This is what I do.
Right.
This is what I'm doing. And you open the world to see this. And you're right. They would not know. And they're not looking to be known. But we need to know them.
100%. And they need support, frankly. And any little thing we could do to help out, we go ahead and do it.
And it wasn't a very inspiring interview.
That was something.
It was a darn good interview.
He is a real presence.
Listening to him, he was definitely
he is
a real presence.
Real presence. It's
Just
amazing.
Listening to him, I said, okay, he's going back into the reserves. No, I'm going to go to Beit Lechem and I'm going to try to. And he was very honest about it.
Well, he's not going back to reserves, and he's angry about it.
Well,
he wanted to go back in. He thought, he's from the camp that Israel didn't finish the job, the whole thing.
Right.
We spoke about that.
Right.
But yeah, because they're not letting him continue in the army right now, he's back on a regular reserve schedule only every 3-4 months. So he's concentrating on the work in Beit Lechem. And I can only imagine how many 400-day plus people you've met in the last 2 years. You came across 1 million of them as you went through Israel during this war.
They're all, and they're not saying it with, gee, look what I have to do.
Of course not.
No,
it's a fact.
It's what we have to do to keep our country going.
Right. You walked in here this morning, actually, and alluded to the fact that when people ask about, what's going on in Israel, all you say is they're doing what they need to do.
Exactly.
They're doing what they need to do. And you don't mean militarily, you mean everybody.
Everybody. The beauty about Israel is whatever my tough kid is, I'm doing it.
Right.
I remember I saw they had a film clip on the Rosenbaum hospital where they were making an underground.
Right. Wow, was that some facility?
But you saw how the people were doing it, how the workers were taking their job, whatever their job was. If my job, it's not like no one's going to ask you, how come you weren't Robert Kraft? They're going to ask you, how come you weren't Steve Adelsberg? I'm supposed to be Steve Adelsberg. I'm supposed to be Ralph Rosenbaum. I'm supposed to do my job. And that's what we're trying to get people to do. Do your own potential.
What did you bring along today? That's RMD? We got sidetracked. You said they're not going to get people to give. They're not. They don't usually respond in that way.
No, it's very interesting. It's in Eretz Yisrael, they don't give like we give here. Correct. They don't, for a lot of different reasons. And maybe because the government's more involved or someone else will do it. But, it's very easy to find an excuse not to give.
Even here.
It is, like if an organization rubs you the wrong way or says your name the wrong way, that's an excuse.
They didn't honor me properly.
And then, you see the table they gave me? You see where they put my ad?
Didn't mention me from the podium.
I mean, exactly. But it's past that. It's not about us. And here, the American Jews realize that, and they see it, and they know im ein ani lamili.
Yeah.
And we have to do that, and we do it, and we do it with pride, and we do it with a certain sense of obligation, and it's important.
David Stiebel was here recently. I don't know if you remember this interview. David Stiebel is an author of the book "Things God Can't Do." That's the name of the book. Things God Can't Do. Now, again, there is no other media outlet that I know of, I mean, with the exception maybe of a few Jewish newspapers, that would feature his book on the air. David Stiebel from Detroit, Michigan. You open up the book, and it's completely blank. Things God Can't Do. It's a shtick, but it works. His website's the same way, totally empty. ThingsGodCan'tDo.com or .org, whatever it is. Again, and he had a great sense of humor. He was very, he was very inspiring with the way he put things. So, again, unique to JM and the AM. By the way, there is a website we can give right now. And Ralph says, don't just give a one-time donation. Ralph's very into the recurring 12-month donation. You'd like to see some $10 a month, some $50 a month,
20, $100,
some $180 a month.
Matter.
You'd like to see whatever it is per month.
It doesn't matter what.
FJBunity.org. Again, that's FJBunity.org.
I got to tell you a funny story with yesterday in my shul. In my shul, we all get in our shul, the shluchim come. And I didn't have my...
the Mishulachim come. I thought you meant the Shulchim conference. The Mishulachim come, right?
And they come, and it's very nice. And I have to say, I forgot my checkbook. I said, guys, I'm sorry.
They don't carry around the credit card machine?
They all had one. That's the funniest thing.
Every one of them
had a credit card machine.
I believe it. I have gone into shoes and I pull out cash. No. We can do my credit card.
Yeah, what about your cash?
Unbelievable.
They also think you'll give more if you give them a credit card.
But unbelievable. I'm getting
You probably
old.
will. You probably will because you say, hey.
Yeah, of course.
I know, but I'm getting old because all I say, I got to have my cash. I don't use cash anymore, practically. You were talking before, if people want to give checks.
Right.
And say, I'm still writing.
I keep announcing the address of our New York studio because I'm shocked by how many checks still arrive because I don't realize how many people still pay their bills and take care of their business via check. But that's the reality. That's what happens.
But unfortunately, the reality is based on age.
It's going
based
down.
on age.
Right. Like everything's based on age.
You kidding me? My son.
Steve still has a rotary phone.
I still have one, but I don't use it.
I just got rid of my flip phone. I'm doing good.
God, okay.
You're advancing. You're literally advancing.
I got rid of it for I kept it for shidduchim purposes.
Now that everyone's married, nothing to worry about. Are you ever in Manhattan Beach or not? Because I discovered today we have a driveway we could park in if you ever need one.
Yeah, and the driveway is a great driveway. You can put it in there, and it's 273 Beaumont. It's Mike.
Giving out your address?
Yeah, no, I'm not giving my address. It's Mike Penn and Joan Penn's address.
Oh, is that hilarious?
My next name
is there space in their driveway for my car?
100%. Mike will valet the car for you.
Oh my God.
You know, they're supporters of ours. Let's not lose their donation, Steve. I'm begging you. Let's not lose their donation.
But this is for Joan. This is Shavua Shel Chalbo.
For Thanksgiving.
Oh, she's big. See, for us in this country, Thanksgiving is easy.
Yeah.
You go to shul in the morning, there's nothing special.
No gift giving.
No gift. But do you guys say Tachar on Thursday?
Yes, we do.
Okay, just making sure.
Right. And when it's Rosh Chodesh, we say hello.
Okay, that's cool.
Which has happened, by the way.
It does happen.
Thanksgiving has been coordinated with Rosh Chodesh. So yesterday, and of course, you know me, we're supposed to be fundraising, and I'm going to change the topic for a minute. Yesterday, I visited our friends at Art Scroll. Now, are you still part of the Board of Governors?
Yes.
You're still part of the board? So you get everything that's released?
I got to get everything released. My wife says,
what's your
"Would you stop?"
bookcase look like?
Well, we have to take other apartments.
I would imagine so.
It's an
You may want to
amazing-
turn your driveway
They
into
just came out with a great book, you know.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking Stein b'Mikrach b'Targum.
Yes. Yes. I have that sitting next to my seat in my living room.
Gedalia Rebbe.
And by the way, there have been other Shnayim Mikra books over the decades, but there's something about this one.
I found myself on
Yes.
track the whole week. I'm holding it. It's a
Nice.
it's you know, you can do, you know, it's not about doing something better. It's about doing something different.
So on that topic, I walk into Art Scroll yesterday. Why? Because they asked me to interview Yaakov Shweki at their studio. Okay. Why? Because they just I'm sure you'll get this, but literally I got this out of the factory. They literally had made this book. The Music of Shabbos.
Wow.
A 300-page book about Shabbos Miros, every Zemer from Erev Shabbos through Melava Malka. It's unbelievable. And of course, this is what I discussed with Yaakov Shweki. The brand new book is him and Yisrael Besser together, all about Shabbos Miros, called The Music of Shabbos. So again, you said you're on the Board of Governors. You get the opportunity, like their foundation, to see great things that are developing, great things that are being released. You just mentioned Shnai Mikra. This, I think, I cannot believe, I said this to my son in the Army this morning as I was speaking to him on my way into work. I cannot believe this has not been done yet. I can't believe that it took till today in 2025 to get a full, comprehensive book with stories and explanations, etc., about Shabbos Miros. I mentioned that to Yaakov Shweki. He said, everything in the right time. Everything in the right time. It's finally time for
There
it.
are only 3 things that Am Yisrael wants to take from America. 3 things, and that's it. Now, someone says, yeah, they take our money. I go, no. They don't take our money. We have an obligation to give money there because they're writing checks that we can't cover. So it's not money. So get that out of your mind. The 3 things I always said. The first thing, Stanley Fisher. Stanley Fisher, who passed away last year.
What, the bank?
The bank.
What are they called? The World Bank?
He was the Bank of Israel.
Bank of Israel.
He was the
But wasn't he also World Bank at one time? Or am I wrong?
Yes, he came back. He was on.
They called him Yeshka Fisher, no?
It was.
I think it was Yeshka Fisher.
He was accepted.
Right.
He was from South Africa.
Right.
He came to the United States, and he was the one who was Netanyahu's. When he was the finance
The big
minister.
economics boom. In
Exactly,
Israel.
and they said, "Hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let's get him in." The second thing they accept in Israel is the blue Art Scroll Gemaras, the Hebrew Gemaras.
Took a while.
But they don't call it Art Scroll.
What do they call it?
Schottenstein.
Schottenstein.
And they give credit to the family that gave us the Gemaras.
Okay.
And it's something that's and you see in the base measures. You go to the bells of base measures, you'll see 60 copies there. You go to yeshivas, it's there. You know if you go
The Beyond Stiebel has or not?
Oh yeah,
In Israel?
yeah. Well, listen, the Beyond Rebbe's father, Rabbi Nachum Breyer Zatzal, he was very close with Rabbi Zlotowitz. So he's
I could see that.
yeah, very close. So now you have to ask me what's the third thing?
What's the third thing?
The Beyond Rebbe. He's an American, and they take him because he's real. So it's like
I wonder if that ever became an issue. It's funny you bring that up. He's such he's such royalty in Hasidus in Israel,
right.
but he's originally from New York. It's
Exactly.
funny. I never thought of that.
And he doesn't come here anymore.
Ever?
He's not coming anymore. He's not leaving.
Oh, if you invited him to a simcha, he'd be on the next plane. Come on.
I wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that to him. That's the thing.
It's like,
You know each other since you're kids, and that's not an exaggeration, right?
Since 1980, we grew up in Sackett Lake. We got adulthood in Sackett Lake together. They say, when my son was bar mitzvahed in 96, everyone said, "Is the Rebbe coming in? Rebbe coming in?" You don't ask him to do
Did
things.
he come in?
Someone else was making a simcha, and they said to me, "Let's bring him in together." I go, "This is not, to be honest. They don't do that. He doesn't do that." 6 weeks later, a yasam was what you call it. 6 minutes later, the yasam was getting married, and the Rebbe came in. And at a Hasidic wedding, who wears a shtreimel? If your family.
Correct.
The Rebbe says to all of Beyond, we all stand with this boy. All of Beyond wears a shtreimel. He came in for this wedding, and he was so. And I said, I need to bring him for my wedding. This is the wedding he should be in here for.
Well,
Very good.
Now you know why it's worth it to tune in, folks. You hear stuff you'll never hear anybody anywhere else. And you'll also hear Ralph in his head saying, why are they not fundraising right now? By the way, just to clarify, this was not Yushka Fisher. Just to clarify, Stanley Fisher was, as you said, Shlomo ben Pesach HaKohen. It was Stanley Fisher. The one I'm thinking of, whose name was, in fact, Yushka Fisher, was a German former politician of Alliance Green Party. I don't know why I knew the name. Like, how would I have known him? Wasn't he involved in something? I thought he was involved in something regarding the bank, but it just says former German politician. I don't know, vice chancellor of Germany. All right, I mixed up my Fishers, but we didn't mix up Dudu Fisher. He's somebody who you would hear on the air and one of Ralph's favorite performers. Didn't you see him recently? You told me you saw him.
I was in Florida last year.
Right.
I was in Florida. Well, I was in Florida last year, and I said to my wife, "Let's go see Dudu." And he says to me, "Again?"
Right.
No offense. Again?
Right, but you did go.
I did.
You just
go.
didn't mention to him that you were my friend.
I left Nachum's name out. I didn't realize that.
You didn't drop my name.
I did not. No.
Ralph!
No. I tell you why I didn't drop his name. I'm going to date myself now. I got Nachum Segal back in the mid-90s, was doing a concert Lower East Side. How did I hear about it? Nachum Segal. So I told it to three of my couples. We went, and he says, and this is when he was doing Les Mis, Jean Valjean.
Yeah, he was there at that concert.
No, not Jean Valjean, but Les Mis. Excuse me. Dudu was giving the concert.
Yeah.
It was the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
I said, let's go. And he started saying, by the way, I will be Jean Valjean in Les Mis in London.
Right.
I said, let's go visit him. We went.
London?
We went to London. Washington's birthday weekend. My son was 91.
Now I know why the two of you get along so well.
we picked ourselves
Yeah,
up.
but he does that with sports. He goes to the London Olympics, and you're going to
I'll
London.
go for shows. I will go running. Anyway, bottom line is, we met him backstage. I got a picture of him in makeup still, with a picture. The reason I bring it up that I have this picture. We took a photograph in Florida. He was he went to Chabad. He's doing a lot of Chabads. So I went to Chabad. We drove, and I showed him the picture. And he gives me a look like, where's this from? I had to explain it all to him again.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a good story, actually.
That's a good story.
That's almost as good as your story of spending Pesach with the Adelsberg family.
No, I spent Pesach with his brother.
I know.
My brother.
Isn't that
when
an
I first
Adelsberg?
met him, I said, where's your brother? I thought it was him. I thought it was you. And he said, no,
He
it was my
insists
brother.
on going to Israel.
No, I don't blame you.
That was the year where he had the Segal wedding Erev Pesach in Israel.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. We're blaming. No offense. I'm blaming you.
You're blaming your wife for
You're
not being
darn
there.
right.
Steve was there.
Right. I still say this to the same time. If we should have gone to Israel.
Not only was he there, he stayed till the end.
Ooh.
On Erev Pesach.
It wasn't a drive-by.
It was not one of those drive-bys.
Come on, you had Lenny Solomon there. I miss all these people.
correct.
I would have had love Lenny.
Yeah.
Another one.
There you go, Ralph. Lost opportunity.
I know that.
Hopefully you'll make the next one, please God. JM and the AM, and we're asking you to support what we do every single day, and that includes the music, the Torah, all the inspiration, all the news that you only get here, the perspective on the news you only get here. Of course, the guests that we bring on the air that give everybody incredible information, especially about different causes that we would never hear about otherwise. You know what we're about to do? And I would bet that probably both of you, but certainly Steve, I bet you have been inundated by this already. We're about to bring on someone from a specific community in Israel where a third of the men who went to the army are suffering from PTSD, and they need money for therapy, and they need money to follow up to help their families, the wives, the kids, etc. And the Israeli government is providing, but they need 10 sessions. Israeli government's giving them 1 or 2 for each 10 that they really need. You must have heard about this, and I'm sure people are already telling you about funds that have been established in order to help them out.
It's happening. It's the crisis is not going away. I said to my shul yesterday, we can't stop saying Sherem Malos after that.
Oh, interesting.
What are we stopping for?
Wow.
We're stopping because they made some kind of deal that they kicked the can down the road. We have problems there. We got the ramifications now. You know, we said when the war started October 7th, we'll deal with who's to blame when it comes. That's not the problem right now. And right now we have problems that people's lives were turned upside down. And you're the voice that gives these people that are able to be heard. It's not going to go away. It's not going to, you know, everyone says, Hashivenu Hashem Elechem Nashuva, Chadei Shemenu Kedem. It's not so simple.
One of the most unfair things is we always talk about the resilience, rightfully so, of the soldiers, of the Jewish people and people in Israel. The resilience is incredible. But you have to remember that only a certain percentage are able to literally go to work the next day without a problem. And there's a significant percentage, put it at 20, 30, 40, somewhere in that area, that literally are suffering, and their families are suffering because of it as well. So we're going to feature that. And
Nachum,
another great cause.
Shimona, half the people haven't come back yet.
Meaning the families.
Yeah.
Are those half ever going to come back? Or nobody knows?
That's a very good question. And it's something that, you know, it's a problem.
How many miles is it from the Lebanese border?
5.
That's it.
That's it. We walked to
Kiryat
Yovel, which is right over there.
That's even more north?
That's, yeah, it's a little bit more north. You have Kiryat Shimona, you have Kfar Giladi, then you have, as I say, you have Matula, and then you got the cousins. And then you got the cousins.
You know, with the number of miles that you walk per day, be careful. You may end up in Lebanon.
I have to say, I'll be very honest with you. I used to run 5 miles a day so I could keep in shape with Rabbi Goldberg when he walks.
But you still do the walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we do things as we can. This week, Baruch Hashem, I walked from Manhattan Beach to Borough Park for a Simcha.
What? This past Shabbos?
Yes, past Shabbos.
Is that far or not?
Yeah, that's pretty.
That is far.
6 miles each way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But I said, someone goes, "Why'd you walk for?" Because Baruch Hashem, I can.
What time was lunch?
It was.
Did you get back before Mincha?
Oh yeah, I had to get back to Lane. And you know, but it was approached. So when you go there and you walk into Borough Park, I stopped to work because I start to talk to people, right? And know what they're amazed about? Because Borough Park, if you haven't spent Shabbos in Borough Park, you don't know Borough Park. Because the Goyim out in the neighborhood, they are in shock. They can't get over every week how it stops on a dime.
Right.
It just stops on a dime. And the thing about Borough Park, it doesn't start over. They don't jump back into the week. It's like an hour and a half after Shabbos is over.
They do it. They take a long time.
Which is not.
I'm looking for 3 stars. Okay,
let's go.
Let's go.
Ralph's looking for 3 stars.
I'm looking for 3 stars. My wife said we got to do Marv. I said 3 stars, please. Leave me alone.
But it's something special when you analyze what we do as Jewish people. That what guides us, and you keep us focused. No, this station keeps everyone focused and connected.
And what's very interesting, if I can, you're gonna remember names.
Go ahead.
The gentleman who unfortunately was assassinated, non-Jewish.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. He started saying he takes that one. He took it from us. He took it. He said, "I love that."
Shabbos.
It's Shabbos. I'm taking
that book's about to be released.
I can imagine, but he's taking it from us, which is all right. But he says, "As one day, no cell phones, no nothing."
Oh, don't even get me started on the conversation about JM and Shabbos, because as I've said for a million years, for a lot of people, Friday's JM is their Shabbos. A lot of people who their only Shabbos is what we do. Friday with the Zmiros, with It's Time to Say Good Shabbos, with the Dvar Torah for the Parsha Shavua, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all they got. And hopefully, they drift further into the whole Shabbos experience as time goes by. But we're an important entree for people into the whole Shabbos experience. And
one of the things you see when you're in Eretz Yisrael, you feel, is that Thursday afternoon it starts to transition.
Correct.
And you feel Thursday night. People going home from work often don't work Friday, so that everyone feels the Shabbos coming. We don't have that in this country.
Rabbi Yudin always says that we don't have Erev Shabbos in this country, but of course in Israel they do, as you just said.
But you bring JM and the M brought us Erev Shabbos.
I appreciate that.
And when you say, when it's time to say, when you end the show, time to say good Shabbos, people say, hey, it's Friday, it's Shabbos. Baruch Hashem.
Anonymous, 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 and anonymous. Our last 4 donors. Why do people want to stay anonymous? They should be proudly telling everybody they're supporting JMN. One of them says, thanks for making my morning commute enjoyable. We do have a donation from Naomi Newberger. Thank you. Continued Hatzlacha, Bezrat Hashem, she writes. And Arnold and Myra Berlin. Thank you for your devotion to Klal Yisrael. We are daily listeners. Thank you very much for that. And to everybody who's given so far, we say thank you very much. We are offering, or I should say we're suggesting on the website, one-time donations and the monthly ones that we discussed earlier. It would be amazing if you would take our advice and give 10 a month or 20 a month or 120 a month or whatever figure you want to use in order to become a recurring monthly donor. Just go to fjbunity.org, fjbunity.org. It is Giving Tuesday. The gentlemen in front of me say it's our first Giving Tuesday. I'm going to blame you guys. It's our first Giving Tuesday, but it's our Giving Tuesday to kick off our year-end campaign for 2025. Again, fjbunity.org. Go to the very top of NachumSegal.com and simply click on the banner at the top of the page. Mr. Rosenbaum.
Yes. If
he was Mr. Rosenbaum at the beginning, now he's Ralph.
Okay.
We were very formal at the
hold
beginning.
on.
I don't know if Steve was ever Mr. Adelsberg. He introduced himself to me on that plane when we were heading to Israel. I think it was always Steve.
My father was Mr. Adelsberg.
That's it. That makes sense.
Okay. I don't think he really was either. he was Sam Olav Shalom.
So we're talking about names, and I remember being with Nachum at Nefesh B'Nefesh, Nefesh, and I was at a point where, yes, I said, we don't, no offense, people, we don't belong here anymore. Our life is in Israel. And I said, because of that, maybe you should call me Shmuel. That's my Hebrew name.
Oh, that's right. We changed it to Shmuel, right.
But still Ralph. And people say, how did you get Ralph? You're Sephardic? Even though the kippah, no, I am not. But my parents or my mother wanted an English name, Ralph. Shmuel, named after my grandfather.
And Ralph named after nobody.
Ralph named over there. Sounded good. Maybe they were watching Jackie
Ralph
Gleason.
Terry, 1962.
Ralph Terry.
Ralph, okay.
Didn't
Ralph
he give
Terry.
up a big home run?
He gave up the home run to Mazeroski in 1960, but in 1962
he wins
came
game
back.
7.
He wins Game 7 in the Cy Young. The game we won 1-0 when Willie McCovey hits the ball.
And who was on deck?
On deck was Willie Mays.
That is correct.
No, I'm sorry. It was not Willie Mays. Willie Mays was
on deck for Bobby Thompson. Who was on deck for that one? We don't know. Maybe
you had Matty Lou on third.
Right.
Mays hit a double in the right field corner.
Oh, he was on base.
He was on base. He hit the double. Malou walked. Matty Lou, the fastest giant, he walks. The ball's hit in the corner. Who makes the great throw that they held up Matty Lou at third in that time? Roger Maris. He had an arm. No one ever knew he had that.
So Maris
saved the day.
I never realized won a World Series for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. He made that peg at home, and then they held him up, and the next thing, Willie McCovey hits the bullet.
Wow. Do you know that when I was a kid, this shows you how old I am. When I was a kid, there was a gentleman in our shul who carried with him a ticket stub from a specific Yankee game that he was at. You know what game it was? Lou Gehrig Day.
Whoa.
He was there.
Whoa.
He was there for Gehrig's speech.
Wow.
Is that amazing?
Wow.
Is that amazing?
That reminds me, the Biana Rebbe's mother was
Mrs. Breyer.
And her name was Malka. I always described her. She was a Batcha Rebbe and an Imasha Rebbe. And she used to...
Because she was the Biana Rebbe's daughter and the eventual Biana Rebbe's mother. Right.
You don't see that every day. She was an unbelievable woman. But she would tell me how the Satmar Rebbe would come to her father's house and they would talk. And they agreed to disagree about Eretz Yisrael.
Right.
They didn't argue about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it was funny. She would tell me stories about the Satmar Rebbe and her father and the other Rebbes. And the same voice, she would tell me how she went to Yankee Stadium and she saw Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig play. And I'm saying, I said, who could say I served the Satmar Rebbe and I cheered for Lou Gehrig?
I love it.
But that's an all-around person. That is a wonderful person. I mean, everybody, you two gentlemen, yes, and I think a lot of people on this who listen are basically yeshiva. Have gone to yeshiva. I went to secular school, so I have gotten my. We were talking before. I have gotten my Jewish learning or whatever listening to Nachum about what I should listen to. Who really turns me on? Do I put it to fruition? Unfortunately, not.
What are you talking about?
No, I do.
Do you know where he is every Motzei Shabbos? Rabbi Reisman Shir.
Yeah, Thursday.
Why are you don't condemn me? Oh, Thursday?
No, stop. I was not there this week. We did.
Thursday night?
No, it's on Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, should I tell people I really went? They were giving out pizza. I said, for pizza, I'll listen to Rabbi Reisman. But he does.
You're minimizing yourself, Ralph. I don't like that.
My apologies, but I totally have enjoyed it.
But
we admire you.
Thank you. And because, and I'm going to say also, and I gave a kol hakavod to Rabbi Goldwasser, who we have every year at the Young Israel of East Brunswick to give his annual
Aseret Beit Shuvah.
He comes in to give a lecture, and he's a wonderful man. He's got so much to say.
And you met him through JM?
And I met him through J and the AM.
We are in this country, and it goes, but we all have every generation has the day that they know exactly where they are.
Correct.
For my parents, it was December 7th.
Right.
Okay.
For us, it was November 22nd. Kennedy's assassination just happened.
9/11.
And of course, there was 9/11. Right. And now for my children, it's going to be October 7th. Right. But I have to tell you, what was the mindset of the American jury, this unconnected jury, in November 22nd. We were Americans. And what do I mean by that? It was Friday afternoon. I was in yeshiva coming out of day school of Hebrew Academy, Nassau County, and we heard the news about the president. When I got on the bus, and it was a bus that from 8th grade down to kindergarten, this one bus, going back home now, we didn't talk on the bus in the memory of the president. We observed a silence. Now, that Sunday, I lived in East Meadow. It was a 3 times a year shul, which means Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur.
Correct.
And that Sunday of the weekend of the assassination, it was a national day of prayer. Do you know, in the shul, there were more people coming to shul that Sunday morning than Rosh Hashanah. There were more people than Yom Kippur. And my father, Lover Shulman, looked at me and said, I don't think we have a million of people putting tefillin on.
Wow.
But now, and by the way, we always got to go back to sports. What was Pete Rozelle's biggest failure?
Didn't cancel Sunday's schedule.
He didn't cancel Sunday's schedule. And to give you an idea about the media then, I couldn't find out the score of the Giant game, who they played, by the way. They played the St. Louis Cardinals, and they lost 24-17. They were good back then because they had Y.A. Tittle, they had Del Shafter, Frank Gifford, the whole crew. I couldn't find out the score to Wednesday because
Till Wednesday.
The media didn't have. You didn't hear on radio. They wouldn't put the score in the newspapers. Right. On Wednesday, Newsday had a picture of the game and a caption, and that's it.
Because they felt enough time had gone by.
No, I guess so, but now I'm saying, but look now how we rely on certain media that, first of all, I don't want to use the term fake news, but we know what that means. But here, we rely on the Nachum Segal show and JM and the AM to connect us, to keep us connected. That our kids will know now is that, like, in World War II, if you had flat feet, flat feet always got you out of the army. In World War II, they saw it as a klala because they got around it. My next door neighbor would tell me her father had flat feet, but he was going to enlist. If you had flat feet in my time growing up in the 60s and 70s, you can have a bracha. You got out of the army. Get out of the army.
Don't do Vietnam.
How it's changed, but these ideas of what's going on, of connecting us, of seeing what we have to do, of telling us, by the way, the war's not over there. There's problems that's going to be going on people spend a year in the army that they thought was going to be for 10 days. And there's problems from there. And we are able to communicate this to the world to open our eyes. And that's what we're doing here.
And it's an honor and privilege for us to do that. And I thank both of you for your support, your enthusiasm for everything we do here. $100 from Anonymous in memory of Dean's 16th yard sign on Rosh Chodesh Shvat upcoming. Go to fjbunity.org, fjbunity.org. Ralph and Steve are going to pay careful attention to Rabbi Goldwasser's words. This is what Rabbi Goldwasser said about 90 minutes ago about Giving Tuesday here at JM and the AM. Continue to give and make this a very productive Giving Tuesday and a very good start to our year-end campaign. fjbunity.org. And you can go to the very top of NachumSegal.com, click on the big banner, and participate as well. I also have the link in my WhatsApp status. We have an email going out later today. We're asking everybody to forward that email to those who you think would appreciate and value what we do here on a daily basis. Our final words for this Tuesday coming up right here at JM in the AM.
Good morning. Today is a great day on the Jewish calendar, on the Luach. It's Giving Tuesday. We read in the Parsha about Yaakov Avinu and his dream, a dream that would have impact on the future of Klal Yisrael. Many years ago, Nachum Segal had a dream for Jewish media to reach the entire world that would bring everybody closer together in a spirit of great Avas Yisrael and Achdus, to provide the entire Jewish community with music, with news, with Divrei Torah, with Divrei Hisoiris, with the latest updates on Eretz Yisrael, the situation, the people, bringing us closer together with Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael. I'm going to tell you a secret. When Reb Nachum started out, he was so talented. He was already well known. Any of the secular media outlets would have loved to have him. They would have vied for him. But he chose a different path. He chose to dedicate his life to the Jewish community and his family's life to the Jewish community. Maybe it was because he knew the difference that he's going to make in the history of Klal Yisrael. And so he sacrificed and continues to sacrifice for our good, for the good and welfare of Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael. I can only tell you, I am a very small part of the entire Nachum Segal network. But let me tell you, if I ever did not send in a morning chizuk, who is the one that guards the Torah? Who's the one that tries to reach me at any moment, reminding me, please, we didn't get this segment yet. We need to have the Torah every single day. It's Nachum Segal. He is a Shomer Yisrael. He is a true guardian of our people. And so Hashem Yisparach has provided us with the opportunity to fulfill one of the greatest mitzvahs in the entire Torah, that of giving tzedakah, of supporting a life-giving source for the worldwide Jewish community. Reb Nachum is a modest and a humble person. He won't say it, but I will. The network needs our money in order to continue to service Klal Yisrael in this very special and unique way. It doesn't happen on air. It requires the donations, the contributions, the tzedakah of each and every family in Klal Yisrael. Nachum is there for us every single day of the year, except for Shabbos and Yom Tov. Now it's our turn. It says in the Holy Zohar, B'shah shakadosh baruch hu ohev adam, when Hashem loves a person, hu sholeach lo doron, Hashem sends that person a present, a cause, an individual that needs tzedakah, in order that the person will have the schus to give tzedakah. When the individual gives, there is a chut shel chesed, a great thread of loving kindness that is spread over the person. It makes a siman, and that siman protects a person throughout life. I ask you, me'umka de liba, from the depths of my heart, please give whatever you can. All through the years, the listeners gave with an open hand and a generous heart. You can have every bracha, any bracha that you're waiting for. You can give the tzedakah in the schus that bracha should come to you and to your entire family. May Reb Nachum continue to lead us le'orech yamim tovim, in good health and happiness. We in Klal Yisrael are very lucky to have such a good friend as Nachum.
And I'm lucky to have a friend like Rabbi Goldwasser after 43 years, and I am humbled by his words, and I ask everybody to please take his advice, support the work that we do. Go to fjbunity.org, fjbunity.org, in our final minute or two here on our first Giving Tuesday. It is a actually, Ralph says it's a 6-week campaign. It's a campaign that's supposed to end on the 23rd of December, but Ralph says just take it to the 31st of December. There's so many last-minute people that are going to end up giving, especially
26, 27, 28.
Yeah.
I know people who write checks or even give a credit card December 31st. It's all right.
There you go.
Right?
I got
he has a
clients,
story.
I got clients who don't celebrate December 31st till like the 4th week in January.
I know some of those also. I've done it myself. Shouldn't say that.
But we'll give a quick reminder to our friends in Eretz Israel. If you're getting Social Security, make sure your accountant knows that if you are a resident of Toshav Eretz Israel, you don't have to pay tax on your Social Security in America.
That's correct.
Big thing.
And you do get it taxed in Israel or not?
You don't get taxed?
Anywhere.
No.
And
So that
all
money you're
you
saving-
need is an Israeli citizenship?
I mean, no, but Toshav Eretz Israel.
A citizen or not?
That's not a resident.
Oh, resident.
A
A
resident.
resident.
A resident.
180 days a year,
Exactly.
resident of
Exactly,
Israel.
you're a resident. And it's
Look at it, you're saving money by moving to Israel.
listen, people say to me like they love to say to me like this, and is they say, "Hey, I'm in Israel. I did Aliyah, and I'm paying Israeli taxes." I go, "Listen, I'm an accountant. Don't tell me you're paying Israeli taxes. You did Aliyah Chalash, and that's because Israel doesn't only tax earned income. Doesn't tax you on the other income, and you'll be okay. You're not going to be double taxed. So,
Boy, it's good to have both of you on staff. I'll tell you that much. It is good to have both of you on staff. All these myths that people have. I'm
That's
losing
usually
money because of this. I'm losing money.
Yeah, they always say that. The people who say they're losing money or they're losing money,
They sometimes are
they're embellishing.
exaggerating.
They're
right?
embellishing.
Want to thank our good friend Mrs. Altberg from Staten Island, a 10 times high donation. Thank you so much. Listener Ellie from Israel, a $100 donation.
Good.
Because not everybody wakes up to JMM. Some people actually tune into JMM during their afternoon.
Well, that's true because
Like
if
in
you're
Israel.
on in Israel at 4 PM, so correct.
All right, gentlemen, I'm hoping and I'm making this assumption that Steve's going to maintain his usual.
I'm going to match.
Well,
it.
one second, Ralph.
Yes.
When it comes to Steve, we let him just say he's maintaining. With you,
We'll match it.
with you, we expect real numbers. So is Ralph?
Oh, he's going to make me do it.
Oh, I love driving him
He's
crazy.
going to make me do it.
So is Ralph, in fact? Is Ralph, in
my wife
fact?
listening? No, is my wife listening? Okay. I have to do that.
She's probably saying Tillum somewhere.
Yeah, but I think she wants to hear me this time.
Hoping you don't say
That's
too big
right,
of a number.
But she definitely wants.
let me give you
Yes.
let me give you Eilam the advice that my father-in-law, my Shver, Love Hashem, would say to me, Chaim Freiman. He said,
From
"Steve,"
where? Where was Chaim Freiman?
He
From
was
what
from
city?
Jalashitz.
From where?
Jalashitz.
And in the United States, where did he live?
He lived in Far Rockaway and then Brooklyn.
Wow.
And he was a survivor. And he said that he would say like this, Shimmy, it's a good thing you weren't born a girl. You can't say no.
Steve! Steve! That must have come from the 5 o'clock group. That must have come from there.
No question. My 5 o'clock boys, and I expect my 5 o'clock boys. That's Molitsky, that's Walker, that's Grosser, that's Lipschitz, that's all the boys.
They know how committed you are to this cause, huh?
And they're committed to it.
That's good. That's good.
They're committed to it.
Well, I thank them. We'll do our own separate 5 o'clock show for them if they want.
Could be. We can go. We can.
So
bear it more
Steve
to the right.
says he can't say no to matching what he's done in the past.
Okay.
But when it comes to Ralph Rosenbaum, like we do off the air, you should hear our banter off the air. It's ridiculous. As we do off. And by the way, Ralph, it's really a little bit unfair what I'm doing to you. You know why?
Why? Because you said you weren't. What?
No, because we had an episode this summer where we needed a donation immediately. I don't even know if you're looking like you don't even remember.
I'm trying to.
We had an episode. You'll appreciate
Okay,
this,
I think
Steve, because
I
how many emergencies have you been hit with over the years from
all right.
people?
Yes, I do recall.
We had an episode this summer, and we said, Ralph, it's summer. We need a certain thing covered.
That's right.
And he covered it immediately. And I
Correct.
said to myself, I wonder if this will affect what he gives us at the end of 2025. And it doesn't sound like it's affecting anything.
No, it's not. It's okay.
You're matching the.
I am matching last year, and I probably will increase it. I don't know how much. But
Now off the air, I have to ask him if he knows what last year was.
Yeah, I actually looked.
Did you look?
Yes, because I had to read. Yes.
I didn't think I'd end the show as confused as I am. But
Well, that's quite all right.
we don't say a word about Steve's donation yet.
No,
It's so
but we're
clear.
talking about mine.
Yet it's so clear to
It's not mine.
me. We actually talk about it. I have no idea what you're giving.
If I recall, 1 year, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You were going for $100,000.
You're right.
I said, I'll make sure you get over it. I remember this because January 1st was on a Friday or
Correct.
Shabbos.
And what happened was, if I could tell the story quickly,
Go ahead, tell us.
the custom was until this year, unless maybe God changes things, we always ended our campaign in Israel. Right? We did it last year, we did it the year before. That's our goal, is to end it in Yerushalayim. We think it's appropriate. December 31st was a Friday.
Right.
We left the air at 4:00 in the afternoon, $1,000 short of our goal. We open up the website after Shabbos, and in those 7 hours between 9 a.m. Eastern time and 4 p.m., he had made sure we went over.
I used a credit card instead of sending a check.
So there you go. So Ralph's there. We're purposely going to stay below certain hurdles.
Are you? Okay, good
to make sure that you get us over the next hurdle. Big thank you to you and your family. Big thank you to you, Steve, and your family. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
I appreciate the fact that you've made this an annual tradition because it means a lot. We try to do good work every single day.
We made it an annual tradition. You made it a life tradition.
Wow. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. It's flattering to be recognized for the work that we do. Simple as that.
Amen.
And the work goes on every single day. And as I always say, because people are hesitant, like, hey, you, Nachum Segal, you're the key to the whole operation. Here's what I always say with this caveat. As long as, please God, he gives us the health and the ability to move forward, we promise to be here every single day. It's all based on health, and he's in charge of that. So as long as I'm not going to go into detail about what I want to say now, but you two will appreciate this. As long as he gives us the strength and the health to move forward, we will all continue our commitments to all the wonderful things we're privileged to be involved in.
Amen.
Simple as that.
That's it.
Kihem chayenu.
100%. Achenu b'Yisrael and Achim Achem, our brothers and sisters in Israel, we are with you. It's your favorite America's one and only Jewish Moments in the Morning radio program. Heard and listeners-sponsored digital radio around the world, the web at NachumSegal.com and the Nachum Segal Network, and, of course, the beloved NSN app. My thanks to both Steve Adelsberg and Ralph Rosenbaum, who proudly wear the title of Chairman of the Foundation for Jewish Broadcasting. We've split the geography. We give New Jersey to Ralph. We give New York to Steve. Now it seems we got to give the whole globe to Steve with the traveling he's been doing, but all right. But we do give both of them their due, and we thank them for their incredible commitment to this show, and we thank those who follow their lead. This campaign is going to go on for a while. We admit that, but there are only certain days where we're really going to be concentrating on it. Take the opportunity between now and the end of the year to have your voice be heard and give at fjbunity.org, fjbunity.org, and, of course, NachumSegal.com at the very top of the page. And please share. Today's our Giving Tuesday. Next week is the World's Giving Tuesday. Share this on social media. Send the email you're going to get later on today to your friends and relatives, especially the ones that appreciate what we do. And we thank you. Have a fabulous Tuesday. Till tomorrow, Nachum Segal reminding you, remember the past, live the present, and trust the future.